Congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
I read, and forgive me if this is incorrect, that it took her quite a while to get this one up and running and going and stuff like that. You must be delighted that it's finally come to this point and that it's actually getting a cinema release, because it might not have happened if it was a year before.
It was over a decade. If I'd bought a red carpet outfit for this when it first got optioned, I think I would be very significantly out of fashion now. No, I was thrilled, and I was especially thrilled that Studio Canal wanted to hold back and give it a proper cinematic release, because I just think this is a very lush film. It's very gorgeous and it's very immersive. You have to lose yourself in this plot, and you have to lose yourself in the locations, and I just think, there is no substitute for that. We've all lived off streamers for the past 18 months, and that's lovely and it has its place, but I'm a massive cinemaphile. I just feel like there's nothing like being in a room full of strangers in the dark, watching something and all feeling the same thing together.
And it's, there's lots of things going on in the movie, but a celebration of writing letters, which we don't tend to do these days, and it's a nice reminder. What came into your thinking when you were doing the book for the first time? Was that something that you thought, we'd never really write letters anymore?
No, I think it was about 12, 13 years ago that I wrote the book, and I remember having a conversation with my cousin who was 10 years younger than me, and she told me she'd never received a love letter. Now, I'm old enough that I have a kind of box of them still, because, it's pretty much the age of carrier pigeon when I was... but I just thought it was such a shame, because we have all these new means of communication. We have texts and WhatsApp and emojis and God knows what. But I'm not sure we're any better for it. And you certainly won't keep an aubergine emoji for 2 decades to look at, will you? To bring out and remind yourself of when you were gorgeous. It's just not going to happen. So I feel like we're going to lose a whole part of our romantic history if we don't hang on to these things. I think, I really hope that maybe the movie encourages people to write the odd note, at least, because it's the history of your love story.
As a final question, sometimes when you have these adaptations, you get lucky. You got lucky with Me Before You, with the cast, director, etc. This one, again, you've lucked out across the board. Could you have imagined that it would be Shailene, Felicity and Augustine as the filmmaker?
No. And in fact, as I said, this had been going around in pre-production for a decade. And it was only really when Shailene and Felicity came aboard that I suddenly thought, oh, this is a thing, because those 2 names aren't going to attach. And once they were attached, it became a very rapidly moving thing, and it was really exciting. It all came together very quickly at the end. And no, they're both highly experienced, massively talented, and they're as good off the screen as they are on the screen, so I felt incredibly lucky, as you said.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey!